Hello, welcome to Sunflowers and Lemonade. I am Latanya Brooks. Before I start, I want you to remember to like, comment, and share. I want to hear back from you uh, how this may be helping you or some of your thoughts. All right. So today we're going to jump into it. The topic is don't judge. You never know what trauma does to people. So don't judge. All right. So this is a place where we find hope, we find healing and purpose, even after life's hardest seasons. So today's episode is called, again, as I said, Don't Judge. You just never know what people have been through, what they're going through. And so we often see people's actions, but we don't see their wounds. We see someone who is distant, angry, anxious, overly cautious, emotional, and even quiet. Um, what we don't see are the experiences that may have shaped them. Trauma changes people. It can make someone afraid to trust again because trust was once broken. It can make someone withdraw because they have been hurt too many times. It can make someone overly protected because they know what it feels like to lose something precious. It can even make someone react strongly because their heart remembers the pain and their mind wishes that it could forget it. So, what brought me to this topic is my daughters and I were having some conversations, which um, I'm grateful because my daughters, they can talk to me about anything without judgment. And sometimes it's hard to keep a straight face or, to not comment, but to let them vent or let them share what they believe or how they feel first. And so we talk a lot. So we were talking about some things that had happened in the past to us and how the trauma creeps up in our lives when we least expect it. Um, and you just never know, like even decision making, things that come your way, how those traumas cause you to react to things that are coming into your life. My daughters were victims of what you would call voyeurism or pedophile victims of things that had happened in the home in the past. And so, sadly, some of those things, the trauma that was caused from that, brings up things that especially my oldest one, she's an adult and she's going through things now in her life that the trauma of the past brings up things that she deals with in starting new relationships, friendships, learning how to trust, uh, just trusting men in general, things like that. And so those things come up in conversation quite often here lately, and learning how to navigate through life. The truth is everyone is carrying something. And so some people are grieving loved ones, some are healing from childhood wounds, some are recovering from betrayal, from abuse, from rejection, disappointment, or years of feeling unseen and unheard. And for me as a parent, I still am recovering from the loss of their father, remarrying to someone I should have thought more, took more time, which I thought I did. Um, Getting to know and researching and things like that, which ended in divorce. And at this time in my life, I still have some regrets and some things that bother me as they're mom and the things I should have caught, and so I still deal with the trauma from that. Um, but day by day, it has gotten better. But there's always you can't forget memories. That's for sure. But the one thing I want to focus on is being kind doesn't cost us anything. Offering understanding instead of criticism can make a tremendous difference in someone's life. We may not be able to erase another person's pain, but we can choose not to add to it. So, we just never know what people have gone through, and so we've got to give people grace. And at the same time, if you are the person carrying the trauma, remember this: what happened to you may explain some of your responses, but it does not define the future. My girls are doing so great. um Healing is possible, growth is possible, peace is possible. But the one thing that I do understand is that um they, how do I say it, because of the trauma and because of the coddling and trying to fix the problem, trying to fix it, they lost their dad by buying them things, doing extra things, then making a choice that I made to remarry, and it didn't go right, and they were hurt in the process. So um coddling them and trying to fix the mistake I made um became an issue, and in some ways it stampered their growth. And so that's where this is exactly why I thought about this topic, is because we can look at some people and say, oh, they should be further along, or there seems like a lack of maturity, or they seem like they should be doing this and that. Why aren't they doing this at this age? But you just don't know what that person is going through. And so the reason why I'm talking, what made me decide on this topic, is because sometimes uh I feel like my girls should be like a step ahead of where they are now, but because of the trauma, it has caused um a little bit of that they've needed more time to grow. And it's from many different things that we've gone through, just moving to another place when we lived in another state, and then we moved. Then once we moved, a couple years later, they lose their dad, and then after that, I remarried and made a wrong choice in the person I married. And but now I'm remarried, and these are really great. They're learning how they're supposed to be treated, and it's been 3, almost 4 great years of just being treated very well on their end and my end. So you deserve spaces where you're safe, where you're heard, and where you're valued. You deserve people who seek to understand instead of condemn. So today, before you judge someone's attitude, their choices, or where they are in life, or their reactions, just pause. And remember, you never know what trauma has done to a person. So choose compassion, choose to be patient, choose to be understanding, because everyone is fighting battles we cannot see. And what I've also learned too is that everybody moves at their own pace. And as their mom, I can't just keep badgering myself and feeling sorry for myself for the mistake I made, but I do own my mistake. And I'm moving forward, and I'm glad that they're able to grow and that they're able to move at their pace, and they're going to get there. Whatever God has for them is going to be. Whatever God has for you is going to be. So no matter what the trauma has been in your life, or anyone in your life, just remember they can still move forward past these things. It may take a little bit of time because we've had to do counseling, and we've had to do therapy. We've had to take a break from things, so that we could recover and so we could get ourselves together. But hey, we're still alive. And as long as we're alive, we still have time to make things right, to keep growing, to keep learning. Hey, I'm past 50 now, and I'm grateful that I made it to 50. And all I can hope and pray that I have time from this moment on, when I go to bed and I hopefully wake up in the morning, I have time to keep growing. And so I prayed for another 50 years, but hey, I've been blessed to see 53 years. And so I got to make the most of not what happened back here, but what's going to happen in the morning. When I wake up, it's a new day. All right? Because everyone's fighting battles. Everyone. So let's be patient. Let's be kind and open-minded and open-hearted towards other people. Hey, thank you for joining me on Sunflowers and Lemonade. Maybe you be reminded today to give yourself grace, extend grace to others, and continue believing that healing and hope can bloom even after the pain. You see the sunflowers and they move to the light. And then you can take your lemonade and you can make so many different things out of a lemon. And it can become this great strawberry lemonade, blueberry lemonade, sweet lemonade plus your tea. And, a lemon it can turn into many things. So just remember, give each other grace and know that I love you, but God loves you more. Hey, remember, click like, share, and comment. I want to hear from you. How has this touched you? How has it blessed you? All right. Bye.